What if the most important thing that your child learns through family yoga has nothing to do with the yoga poses themselves, but actually it's about learning one of the most important life skills that they will ever need? Because when people think about family yoga, they often think about the stretching, the balancing, trying to get kids to calm down or sit still. And that's just not what family yoga is all about. What family yoga is actually about is supporting children to come back to themselves. One of the biggest misunderstandings that I see is that emotional regulation means being calm, and that's just not it, right? So when we talk about supporting children with regulation, we're not just talking about getting children to be calm or sit still and be quiet. It's more about helping them to move their energy, right? So if we see emotions as energy, we're helping them to move that energy, and so that the energy doesn't get stuck, the emotion doesn't get stuck. And so what we accidentally do if we just try to get them to calm down is actually suppressing that energy rather than working with it. So children are meant to experience this energy, to be able to bring an awareness to how they are feeling, to express that and move through it, and then come back to balance. I think one of the reasons we kind of get hung up on, oh, it needs to be calm and quiet, is because that's how we often like to regulate. You know I do. I will get my yoga mat out and I will want a nice, peaceful, quiet practice myself, right? Because that feels good for my overwhelmed nervous system, is to have some quiet, some solitude. And that really helps me to move that energy and to flow through things, to bring my own balance back. But with children, they don't move this energy in solitude, right? They need that co-regulation, and they need play and movement and laughter. They need this connection. And of course, they can benefit in the same ways as us with using the breath and being able to relax and calm themselves. Like, that part is the same, right? We love that. But we need to be able to meet children where they are. We need to meet that need for movement and play and connection, and show them these practices in playful ways, exploring the practice together. So we're not like just dropping our expectations on them that they have to regulate in this way. Instead, it's exploring it. And we're doing this at a time that is a calmer kind of time, right? So what I mean by that is they're not in this dysregulated, like, meltdown or something like that, something where it just feels really huge and intense. Like, that's not the time to go, hey, let's practice some yoga now, even though it feels like that would be a logical time to practice. We want to practice at calmer times and help children to build this self-awareness, build this connection with their breath, connection with their body, connection with that energy, with their emotions, right? And by doing that and the calmer times, you're going to be able to bring it into those more intense, dysregulated moments as well. I mean, really, it all comes down to safety, right? A felt sense of safety. Like, obviously, we know we're safe. They know they're safe. But the body doesn't always know that. It can feel under attack, under threat, and that's when all that dysregulation happens. And it's your nervous system doing its job, right? It's not a bad thing. Dysregulation is not a bad thing. It is simply keeping you safe and alert so that you can move and get out of danger quickly when that is needed. But what we want to do is use this co-regulation, this connection to really signal to them that they are safe. They're always saying, like all the parenting coaches, all that, they're always saying like, share your calm and let them borrow your calm. And that is just like super duper annoying when you don't feel calm, but you're really trying to be calm, but you're feeling really overwhelmed and you're like, I'm really trying to share my calm. And this way with family yoga, you're creating that calm together for them to borrow. So it's being gentle with yourself as well, right? Allowing this time for you just as much as them to slow down and really focus on this connection away from distractions, away from the to-do list, and just focus on this time together, creating calm, creating regulation, creating this playful movement and all of this without expecting you to just be calm and they're going to borrow that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So every time we play a yoga game, they're noticing what is going on in their body. They're playing around with what it's like to be high energy and then coming into stillness and playing with these opposites and really working with like up-regulating, down-regulating, finding that balance. Every time we stop and we pause and we take a breath, they're building that connection with their breath. Every time we do our candle breathing in a really playful way, again, it's teaching them to notice their breath and, oh look, we can use this as a tool when we are feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, restless, whatever it is. And we can have these conversations around when we can use this, when it's going to support us. And they're going to learn so much more from that than you just simply saying like, take a deep breath when they're having a really hard moment, right? We're really helping them with the self-awareness, building this connection and being able to tune in and to move and learn how to regulate. And we're doing this in a way that doesn't have to be super serious. And we keep doing this, we keep returning to this practice, and do you know what? It starts becoming their internal anchor. They suddenly have these ways to support them in the tough moments. So suddenly they are connecting with their breath. They are noticing what is going on in their body, in their mind. They're noticing what they need, whether they need to focus their mind, whether they need to slow their breathing, whether they need to move and shake it out, or just have time with you co-regulating. That is just as important, right? It's not all about self-regulation. For children, they need that co-regulation with you too. And beginning to remember these practices in tough moments, that is the practice. You're doing this right alongside them. So it doesn't even matter if your regulation skills aren't top notch, right? And you're still finding yourself getting snappy and overwhelmed, overstimulated. As I say, dysregulation is normal. It happens to all of us. And so if you really struggle with what to do with that dysregulation, then this is going to help you too, because you're slowing down. You're paying attention to your energy, your nervous system, your breath, and you're having this connection as well. So you are benefiting from this just as much as them. And this becomes your anchor as well. So hopefully you can see from this that family yoga isn't about perfecting your downward dog, right? But instead it's giving children a way to really connect with themselves, to learn these tools that can support them with their big emotions, really work with connecting their mind and their body and really supporting them with these big emotions, helping them to feel safe with these big emotions. And it's also fun, right? And let's not underestimate the importance of fun together. But I think the best part is just creating this home environment where you're really prioritizing this kind of self-care, this nervous system care, this emotional intelligence, and just having this safe and cozy space together. I just think that's a really beautiful, beautiful thing for families to share together. So if all that sounds good to you, then keep following me on this account for more family yoga. And if you'd like to, come and join us inside of the Family Yoga Club, where there's just so much in there to support your family with yoga and mindfulness. We've got our live sessions, we've got challenges, programs, just lots of fun ways to really make this practice work for you. Thanks very much. I'm Natasha, by the way. Don't think I said that. Hi.